Since NESTA was founded about 15 years ago, there have been many projects here in Northern Ireland, from creative pioneers, Ignite, hyperlocal media, projects with older social entrepreneurs we were launching just a few months ago, and on skills. And we'll be showcasing a few of those later. But we're very conscious that we could and should be doing more. And one of our aims today is to partly share with you what we're doing, but also to get your ideas, your inputs on what might be productive, useful, creative things for us to be doing, hopefully in partnership with organisations here in Northern Ireland.
I'm pleased, Geoff, that we are going to hopefully continue to work in partnership with NESTA to improve our performance and capability in the future. And we do need to recognise that there are a number of opportunities, and it is about recognising those opportunities. I mean, there's three big issues or events that are going to take place in Northern Ireland this year. And we obviously have the UK City of Culture ongoing. We've got the G8 Summit, and of course we've got the World Police and Fire Games, which will be the biggest sporting games on the planet in 2013. Now, that's not bad for a place the size of Northern Ireland. There are opportunities here for us to sell ourselves across the world stage, and we need to make sure that we're innovative in how we take advantage of that.
My name is Mark. I work in the Innovation Lab at NESTA, and more specifically in the education team. In this session, we will talk about how technology can be used to make good on the promises to transform learning. Despite changing so many parts of our lives, technology has had relatively little impact on learning. We'll talk about NESTA's work in this area and have a discussion about what needs to stop, what needs to change, and what changes in practice need to happen if we're to make education fit for a digital age.
I'll be leading the session on Plan I. If you've read the newspapers in the last 5 years, you'll have heard about the economic debate between Plan A and Plan B, austerity and stimulus. Well, I'd like to talk about Plan I, the importance of innovation and how that can give us a way of cutting through and leading to really sustainable economic growth in the UK as a whole and in Northern Ireland.
I'm John Kingsbury and I run NESTA's Creative Economy programmes. And in today's session, called Destination Local, we'll be lifting the lid on some of our work around hyperlocal media. It'll be useful because, on the one hand, we'll be showcasing a project that's based in Northern Ireland, Craigavon, and on the other, we'll also be talking about how innovation in local authorities can work, what some of the opportunities are, and what some of the problems and challenges are too.
My name is Glen, Mehn, and I'm from the Social Innovation Camp. And we believe that technology will play an important role in us addressing all of the challenges of the 21st century. So what we do is we run a series of social events and prototyping events where we try and get people from the public sector and people from the community and voluntary sector together in the same room with developers, designers, entrepreneurs, makers, etc. And the exciting thing about technology for us is that it's a way of organizing things in new ways. It's a way of reinventing and changing business models and doing things in a fundamentally new way.
My name is Nick. I come from a multimedia production company. We're based in Portadown. Traditionally, we are a film production company and producing animation, film, production, graphics, websites. And over this past number of years, we have developed a new partnership with Craigavon Borough Council and Queen's University Technology Centre in developing mobile apps. And a year ago, we launched our first one, which was aimed at giving community groups aids in terms of facilitating games. But the idea is that this is not a Craigavon Borough Council app. This is not an app for the council. It's an app for the citizens and for the public, and to promote community groups, organisations, and to keep the public informed in a new way.
Farset Labs established last year after about 3 years of community building and trying to acquire the right core team. So voluntary non-profit, there's 3 directors, myself, David Kane, who unfortunately couldn't make it today due to sickness, and Alan Murray, who is just a fantastic technologist. And basically it was constructed out of the idea of we wanted it, nobody else was doing it, so we built it. But it's only got a little bit to do with the technology. The technology is just what we're interested in. The real advantage of having spaces like Farset Labs is that you're looking at all the soft skills stuff. You're looking at the networking, the friends, the toys, the collaborations, the active creation, the active expression, and going back to what Rosemary was talking about, the experience that you can then go forward with.
I joined further education about 5 years ago, went into the FE sector, came across from London. And looking at what the FE sector was trying to do was connect back with industry. And what we built was the Fresh program, an enterprise program, a program that actually took problems from industry and took students in groups of 4 to 6 outside their curriculum area. So for the first time, we had graphic designers working with IT, working with a fashion designer. And we gave them a problem, and we said, don't worry about your course, it's okay. Just take this problem and work on this problem for a week. And slowly but surely, after 2 days of arguing, they tended to get it.
I suppose social innovation in Northern Ireland, 3 things to remember from what I've got to say. First thing is visit our website, please, at www.buildingchangetrust.org. Secondly, subscribe to our newsletter. And thirdly, download and read our 2 reports into growing social innovation in Northern Ireland. We were endowed with 10 million from the Big Lottery Fund as an investment for community capacity building and promotion of the voluntary and community sector in Northern Ireland. So there's an adage with grant making that it's easy to give away a lot of money, but it's actually much harder to give away small amounts of money successfully. So our challenge is how do we use the 10 million for the most strategic and productive ways.
It's always used to be said necessity was the mother of invention, and there's actually quite a lot of necessity around at the moment. Flat economic growth, public finances squeezed everywhere. In principle, this should be a really good time for new ideas and the sort of people in this room to be pushing the boundaries. And yet, in fact, the instincts of almost all organizations in times like this are the opposite. Hunker down, shrink your horizons, try and just get by month to month, year to year. But if there's one big message we try to make, whether for individual businesses or for governments, is that in fact this is the very time you should be investing more in the future, investing in future products and services and having the boldness to take the big steps now, which will pay off in 3 or 5 years' time. It's really hard to do that, but that is the fundamental test of leadership in every kind of organization, is the ability to understand that and to do more for the future relative to the present. And anything we can do as NESTA to help sort of shift that, we will do.